This is kind of a topic which is near and dear to my heart. It's something which helped me, and I guess if some of you guys are going through something similar, it might help you. But the idea of paranoia is kind of an interesting phenomenon, right? Fear that isn't really fear, doubt that isn't really doubt. Insofar as we tend to think of fear as, okay, this thing happened, and now I'm afraid of this, or okay, this thing was untrustworthy, and now I'm doubtful of such and such, right? Paranoia doesn't seem to follow those rules. So you could think of it in terms like this. You have physical muscles, which you use on a day to day basis. And by using them to some extent, they become tired or damaged in some way, and your body it necessitates inaction in order to repair itself, right? Um, so you sit down, you relax, you stop moving your body so much, or you go to sleep, and overnight your body does its thing and you wake up in the morning refreshed and the damage is at least somewhat repaired, right? This is kind of the cyclical nature of things. Now, your mind on the same level is a muscle of sorts. You use it on a day-to-day basis, it gets tired on a day-to-day basis, damaged on some level, so you have solutions for that. You can find some sort of entertainment or something that relaxes you, something that allows your brain to function on a very, very low level of stimulation. You're not using it to a very high degree, or you can go to sleep. Unconsciousness allows your body to fix itself on the same level that you could break a bone, which would require a longer time to repair itself. It wouldn't be enough to just go to sleep and hey, you wake up in the morning, hey presto, everything's all right. You could break your brain on some level, right? Some sort of event, something like a traumatic event, existential crisis, whatever it is, something that is so overstimulating that it actually breaks your brain on some level. For the record, it might not just be something like that. It could be some sort of growing pains as well. I think mental illness is actually positively associated with um, creativity. So maybe there's some sort of evolutionary aspect to this, some sort of improvements that could be made that would elicit a similar reaction. Whatever it is, repair, renovation, improvement. While your brain is doing this, it seems like you're in no state to make responsible, efficacious, or good decisions. So, given that while your brain is out on holiday, that you're not in any state to make good decisions, and given that you cannot remain unconscious for the entirety of this time, what would be the solution to that? Um, there's the idea of the proverbial witch in the woods, right? The stories that parents would perhaps sometimes tell their kids in order to curb their sense of curiosity or desire for exploration or whatever. Point being, fear, uncertainty, doubt, very effective paralytics, right? So a crazy person who's confident will act upon all of the crazy impulses that are going through their brain because of whatever it's doing on as far as repairing itself, versus a person who's crazy and fearful slash doubtful slash uncertain about everything would probably resort to an action, meaning they won't act upon all of the crazy impulses going on in their head. So through inducing a state of paranoia, your brain effectively ensures inactivity, right? It nixes the idea of initiative or stuff like that. In theory, your instincts and your conscience would still be intact. So you're doing everything you were doing before, but no more than that. You're kind of in a robotic state. You're kind of sleepwalking a little bit until such a time as your brain is, done doing its thing and comes back online and would, no longer induce the state of paranoia, at which point you would become sane again. Anyways, hopefully that made sense ish.